Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a monster review on Gualgui. This monster's been released for a while. He was the Season 2 monster, but I haven't had the chance to make a video on him, but now is finally the time to make a video on him. So with that being said, let's jump right into the monster review. Let's start off with his trait. This monster, like many monsters nowadays, has an evolving trait. Unranked, this monster will have Hardened. At rank 1, this monster will have immunity to possession. And at rank 3, you will have immunity to torture, which I think is really incredible considering all the torture effects that currently exist in the game. I mean, if we just click on it, look at that. Burn, ignite, poison, bleed, nightmares, quicksand, drown, sunburn, shock, nanovirus. That is a lot of torture that is useful to be immune to. And speaking of torture, this monster is like the master of torture skills, as you're going to see. Stats wise, he's a pretty good monster. Unfortunately, like base speed, 35-31, that's one of the faster speeds in the game. Unfortunately, mine came with 2 slots locked. And so I decided to give him team speed. The way to rune this monster is probably going to be team speed or single speed, depending on how you have the monster and what league you're in. For example, if you're in a very competitive league where all the monsters are ranked up and you're facing level 130 monsters like high level runes, you're not going to be able to do 3 speed on this monster because he's not going to be fast enough to outspeed them and deny. However, if you only have this monster at level 100 and you're facing other level 100 monsters, then you can definitely do 3 speed on this monster and deny. Because, let's talk about his skills. Pit Viper Bites activates all cooldowns and applies poison. AoE cooldown activated, pretty straightforward, pretty awesome, and it also applies poison on top of that. This is why this monster could be a denier. However, like with me, if I don't have him fast enough, if I don't have the runes on him, then he becomes a team speed holder, and then he's going to focus more on applying torture and being able to deny. We also have Dark Ritual, applies bleed to all enemies and gives 1 extra turn. I like this because you're literally applying a DOT 1 extra turn. So if you want to, if this monster is running 3 speed and he goes first, you can literally Dark Ritual and then Pit Viper Bite, and all the enemy monsters will have bleed and poison already cutting away at their HP. Their damage output is reduced. Both bleed and poison reduces damage output by 20%, and then their cooldowns are activated. Some more skills I like are Curse of Ancestors. This activates cooldowns on 1 single enemy monster, which is very useful considering we have dodge area monsters. So Pit Viper Bite won't work against dodge area monsters like Wormlad, but Curse of Ancestors will. So again, it's single target, but the curse, that applies to everyone. So against a dodge area monster, the curse won't land, but to the allies it will land. So again, you can Dark Ritual, Curse of Ancestors, and the enemy monsters will have curse and bleeding. Song of the Drowned, this one I like a lot as well, applies bleed to 1 enemy, but then the Drowned and Nightmares is to all enemies. So extra drown, extra nightmares to all enemy monsters. Like I said, this is the king or queen. What is this monster? This monster is the queen of torture skills. Absolutely love it. So the cool thing about applying nightmares is that this can also set up to anyone that has an Omniscient Sword. Nightmares also removes 10% of stamina for each turn. Drown removes 15% of stamina, so this is also a stamina draining skill as well. With that being said, let's take a look at some alternatives that we could potentially use. It's High Noon, removes 30% of stamina from all enemies and applies quicksand. 30% in quicksand. Quicksand is a great torture skill. Removes 50% of stamina for 1 enemy, sunburn, and quicksand to that single enemy monster. If you just really have it out for a single enemy monster, this could be the skill you can use. And keep in mind that you have that extra turn bleed skill, so on top of the DOTs you're seeing now, you could always add bleed on top of that. And also notice the cooldowns, 2 turn cooldown, 1 turn cooldown. This monster has a couple no cooldown skills, so even if you're facing another monster that can activate cooldowns against you, you're going to have some skills in your arsenal. Curse me 2 times, this applies curse twice. So if you're facing a monster that has Bulwark, for example, and the first curse misses, potentially the second curse will land. So greater likelihood to actually land your torture. Drowned in Sand, another 0 cooldown skill. Deals heavy special damage, applies Drowned and Quicksand. Nightmares to all enemies, also 0 cooldown, and then these are your defaults. So for now, I like the skill set I have on this monster. I think you have a good selection of dots, right? You have the Curse. Curse is one of the best. I mean, if you combine Song of the Drowned, that deals Nightmares and Drowned, which take away 15% of stamina, and Curse, which also drains stamina, this alone is stamina drain, right? Pit Viper's Denial, and it's DOT on top of everything. I love it. And as for the ultimate, apply Sunburn, Quicksand, Nightmares, and Curse. Like I said, she is the queen of torture skills. Gualgui, everyone. With that being said, in terms of relics, this monster can hold the Mask Relic and the Staff Relic. So, if you're going to do the staff, let's say you want to do like an Oblation Staff, keep in mind that the enemies actually have to take damage. So if you wanted to run that, you would have to run, or actually this monster does not have an AoE damaging skill. So Oblation Staff would not be a good one. So I would probably just go with something like the Cane of Atlantis if you're fortunate to have it, or Energizer Staff just to give stamina in case you need it. Whatever mask you can utilize, if you have Talon's mask so everyone starts the game off with a shield. Healing mask so you can take damage, like honestly to utilize whatever you have in your arsenal. But with that being said, we're going to take this monster out into PvP and see what this monster can do. Alright, and so this is the first battle, and I am going to, even though I'm running team speed, right? I am going to kind of make the game as if, imagine I was actually faster than the enemies. This is how battle could potentially go. If your Gualgui is able to go first, because you have 3 slots unlocked and you have speed runes on this monster, you could potentially go, do the Dark Ritual to activate Bleed on everyone. So bleed, 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 and then Pit Viper Bite, activate cooldowns and poison. And this is how battle should go if you're running your monster as a denier. The bleed lands, the poison lands, cooldowns are activated so they can't attack you unless they have a 0 cooldown skill. And that's ideally how you want to play the game. I'm going to charge with Rosin to give an extra turn, and then I can go into my other skills. Let me see, is everyone bleeding? Everyone is bleeding. So for example, I can do Curse of Ancestors, once again reapplying the cooldown activated, and applying the curse to allies. Didn't land a Barakor thanks to that hardened trait. But then I can do Song of the Drowned, and check it out, Drowned Nightmares. So what dots do they have? Let's see. Bleeding, we'll start with Arcanite over here. Curse, Bleeding, Poison, Drowned, Nightmares. 5 dots. This monster over here just Bleeding and Nightmares. Curse, Bleeding, Drowned, Nightmares. Wow. Well, let's give him a little Death Door action so the dots can actually take him out. Thunder Revenge Helmet is fine with me. 9,000 damage, 18,691 was able to attack me, and 17,851. And I think has a 1 turn, yeah, so finish me off, that's fine. I will come back from the dead, I will activate cooldowns again, and that'll be that. Pit Viper Bites, and then let's see what happens. Turn 2, 24k damage, and Stamina Drain, 21, aw. Recharge, recharge, Stamina is probably going to be completely drained. Oh, nope, didn't even survive. 30k damage. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's spin the wheel, see what we get, and do a couple more battles. So yeah, like I said, this monster is probably going to be a team speed holder, or it's going to be a 3 speed holder, depending on whether or not you can actually utilize the monster to the fullest potential. For me, being in this league on this account, it's kind of hard for me to utilize it as a 3 speed holder, as you saw, but I was kind of able to mimic it. Let's try this Dunraw base. This is going to be interesting. So a little more competitive base, and now I'll just play a normal game as I normally would. So I am going to start the game off with Death Door. I'm targeting that Dunraw right from the very beginning. Here, we'll go ×4 speed. Neobuki does what? Single target lane odds. Now, this is probably my biggest threat. Any monster that can apply immunity to torture, which Neobuki has a skill like that if you're facing a Warmaster Babari, if you're facing Warmaster Zara. Zara has immunity, status caster immunity to torture. Babari has a permanent trait that's immunity to torture, so just be on the lookout for that. Come on, Dark Ritual. I was hoping I would Dark Ritual my own team. Alright, so a lot of stuff going on. Let's recharge. Ultimate form, I would get ulted, but fortunately I'm okay. I think Rossi God will be able to remove negative effects if he gets a turn. I didn't. Come on, Dark Ritual. Song of the Drowned against my own team. Ouch. So this is an example of Gualgui potentially killing my own team thanks to all the torture. Oh, thank goodness. I am going to no more failures myself. And then I am going to do, let's see, could I finally Stamina Leak Immune Sword? That's fine. I can finally Death Door. And bye-bye Dunraw. Alright, I can do Charge with Rosin on, give 2 turns. Alright, let the torture begin. Let's go Dark Ritual. Bleeding. Pit Viper Bites. Poison. Do I want to Curse? Do I want to Drown? Let's do Song of the Drowned, Bleed, and Nightmares. So look at that, 35 Stamina Drain. Nice. Let's do Archangel's Blessing. And then 22k damage, Stamina Drain as well. Recharge, recharge, Curse of Ancestors, recharge, and check this out. Lost a bunch of stamina next turn, honestly, with just the dots alone. Bye-bye. Just like that. Awesome, awesome. Alright, I think we have time for one more attack. I can probably do 2 more attacks. I think I have some daily gold PvP battles. But again, this monster team suit holder, this monster there for torture, this monster there for cooldown activated. Overall, a really good monster. Now, against the current meta of Mega Taunt monsters, Dodge Area monsters, how good is it? Not the best, right? Unless you run those single target skills. So for example, like for a battle like the middle one right there, I would have to completely change my skill set to not rely on this skill and just go more after the single target. And not even like this, because see how the Drowned Nightmares is all enemies? I'd have to go for like High Noon. Quicksand, no, not Quicksand to all enemies. I have to go for like this one. So let's run it for this battle. Curse of the Ancestors, not even that one, it's Curse Me 2 times. And Dark Ritual, that'll be completely useless. So let me run something like Drowning Quicksand, you know, just swapping it out to deal with single target. I completely forgot to swap out the most important skill. Pit Viper Bite, and I gotta keep the single CDA. Curse of Ancestors. Alright, applies curse to all enemies, activates on one. Perfect. So, let's see how this battle goes. Taking on the middle base, 2 dodge area monsters. Ooh, that Helguden is powerful. Fun dungeons, darn it. What can I do? That Helguden is very, very powerful. Let's start the game off with the Archangel's Blessing. Blades of Nightmares completely obliterated me. Yikes. We're gonna do Revival on Rossi. Rossi's gonna charge on me, and then Revival again. And let's see what I can do. Applies Drown and Quicksand to one enemy. I guess it's gonna be CDA, 50% stamina drain. We're gonna have to go with CDA. Alright, that's the stun skill. Fortunately, stunned everyone. Lots of recharging there. Alright, Old Herd's Momentum. Removes, we'll do this one. Get rid of the Megatons. Alright, Death Door I could do. Archangel's Blessing, no more failures on myself. What do I want to do? I think I want to do no more failures on myself. And then, ooh, I got an ult. Moves negative effects, applies evasion, double damage. And yeah, let's go ahead and give myself that evasion. That'll help. Fun dungeons. Alright, cool. So, let's go after Brutalis. There we go. Awesome. We can do Old Horse and Momentum. Alright, now I can single target. So, applies Drown and Quicksand to one enemy. Curse twice. Or 50% stamina drain. Yeah, let's get Helguden. Let's prevent Helguden from attacking. Landed the Quicksand. Let's go ahead and Archangel's Blessing on top of that. Had to recharge. That's the AoE stun again. No more failures on myself. Let's Death Door Helguden over there. And then let's Archangel's Blessing. Alright, and now I can activate cooldowns and do all that other fun stuff. Recharge, recharge, if I have the stamina. Alright, so there it is. Activates cooldowns and curse. Curse won't land. Cooldowns did land. No more failures. Let's go ahead and do some stamina drain and Sunburn and Quicksand. Success. Recharge here. Let's go ahead and do an additional drown, or that's the drown Quicksand, then with Sunburn. And let's just let the dots do their thing. So did an AoE stun, that's fine. Recharge, recharge, and DOT damage death. Bam! Cool. So you've seen this monster in action. I'll do another battle. But like I said, against the current meta of Megatons and dodge area, the monster alone, 3 speed would not work out. You definitely need teammates to get rid of all that. But as a team speed holder, it could definitely work out, and just using the DLTs to your advantage. Let's see, who's an opponent I could battle? Let's maybe swap some stuff up around. Let's go back to the skill set I like. So Pit Viper Bite. Curse of Ancestors, might need that. Where is my Dark Ritual skill? And the last one I want. I kind of like that 50% stamina drain Sunburn skill, but I want my Song of the Drowned instead. So who are we going to take on this time? Unknown, Talos, base on the left. Let's refresh. Let's see who else we can find. Oh, this one's interesting. Relies on an ISO and then some OG monsters. Alright. So, let's go ahead and just... let's go ahead and just protect myself. Level 7 runes. Oh, it's not too bad. Let's see what I can utilize. I have evasion, so let's just keep the evasion going. So Archangel's Blessing, they're all going to recharge. I am going to do Bitter Reading to get rid of the Megatons. Removes all negative effects from my allies. Wait, wrong one. They are not giants. Removes positive effects. That one. So get rid of Megatons. Start the game off with a Bleed. Wait, I moved the order around. Dark Ritual, Bleed to all the enemy monsters. And then cooldown activated and Poison. Let me no more failures. Let me go ahead and also go ahead and just throw in that Drowned and Nightmares to everyone. So let's take a look at what they have. Oh, I can't right now. So they have Bleeding, Drown, Nightmares, Poison. Bleeding, Drown, Nightmares, Poison. Bleeding, Drown, Nightmares, and Poison. Let's hit a powerful Death Door. See how much damage they lose. 14k, 13k, effective blade. And then next turn, what am I going to do? Next turn, I am going to apply the Curse of the Ancestors, thus applying the curse, and pretty much, there it is. Like, they are going to die just with dots alone. Look at that, 17k damage, lost a bunch of stamina, lost 49 stamina. I could recharge with all my monsters, and it's GG at this point. Watch, 21k, 22k, there we go. She is the queen of torture. And if you can potentially get her to rank 3, she'll have immunity to torture, which will really help her out. because if she's facing essentially a copycat, you are going to have to remove the trait of the monster to be able to apply torture. But anyhow, everyone, this has been a monster review on Gualgui. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this monster? Do you like her? Do you dislike her? Were you able to get her? How has it been actually using this monster? Any thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much, and I will see you all next time.